Hi guys, and welcome back to another Alphabet Zoo video. So in today's video we are building the snow leopard habitat, which is the other side of our big cat palace. So I had a bit of trouble with this one. I couldn't work out whether I wanted to have like the Indian theme or whether I should try and mix and match different themes. I did try mixing and matching the different themes, but it didn't really work. So essentially I just kind of made up my own thing again. So this is again a bit of a clashing of themes, I guess, with the habitat, because I do make a little thing later on. However, with this little bit that I'm doing now that you can see, this is just like a kind of decorated walkway kind of a thing. Again, I wanted to use the concrete pieces just because I've used them previously and it kind of helps bring Alphabet Zoo together now. And I decided to make them yellow so they would blend in a bit more with the India theme, and then I'd continue this India theme just on this part of the building and just make it so it kind of fits together, you know, nicely and looks pretty. So yeah, so I just created this kind of little funky bit here, and then I was contemplating maybe making it like a mouth, but like with teeth and stuff, but I decided against that. So yeah, I'm just finishing off this bit of the palace now, doing some more of the towers. To be honest, I hadn't realised how many different like variations of the towers you could make, and how many different tower pieces there were. As I said, I barely use the India pieces in this game, so it was kind of cool to actually kind of be able to do that really, and like yeah, just make all these different towers and things. So yeah. Again, it's kind of pretty self-explanatory again with this one. Obviously, you know, we're still sticking to the rules of having at least 3 viewing points for people to be able to view the animals, or designated viewing areas, I guess. Had I started this zoo after the aquatic update, a lot of these points would probably have like the speakers, like the educational speakers, but like not the speakers, but like the person speakers, if you get what I mean. But I decided that I didn't want to add that to this zoo just because it makes it a little bit more complicated, and like it's not like I'm going to be able to use them anyway. So yeah, that's that pretty much. And again, I'm just trying to continue with the theming here, and just, you know, trying to make it continuous and seamless as always, but also keeping to that, you know, very strong Alphabet Zoo theme, which is not really a theme at all, as I've mentioned previously. So yeah, I also realised with the tiger habitat they could escape. It kept beeping at me and it was really annoying that they were escaping, so I decided to modify this area a little bit. Obviously with the wooden beams I didn't want them to jump out and onto the wooden beams, so I wanted it to be functional, so I decided to use this kind of like lattice piece, I think it's called, just to build in a bit of a fence. My gosh, I still wish we had chain link pieces like this, but bigger ones, just so we can make roofs and things. Because I mean, you can use that, you know, the barrier fence to make a chain link habitat. I don't do it very often because I feel like, again, I kind of build more fantasy habitats rather than like realistic habitats. I have just been building a realistic habitat actually for Mrs. T-Rex's community zoo, which I will post the videos of in a little bit. You might not get them for a few weeks though because of the whole scheduling thing. But yeah, that's actually also a snow leopard habitat, funny enough. So yeah, so here again I'm just trying to continue this kind of theming here. I didn't know what I wanted to do with this. I didn't like how open it was. I wanted to make like a cover for it, so I decided I would have a go at just sort of winging it and just seeing what happens. I like the bamboo pieces. I've used bamboo pieces a lot, what with Bamboo Station and all that, so I decided again I would continue that kind of theming here and we would see what we get, see how it turns out. So that's kind of this viewing area done at this point, and I think I just put in these pillars and then we move on to the next bit in a second. I do like all the plant work at the end. So yeah, this is the fun bit that I wanted to create. So I really wanted to make like a wooden cabin kind of a theme. I wanted this to be a bit of a rustic theme. Like, I've been really getting into the rustic theme lately, like outside of Alphabet Zoo. So this was kind of the trial, I guess, for the community zoo builds that I've been doing lately, because that's all I've been working on. That's all the next videos are going to be, is the community builds, just because I need to vary it up and then have a break really from different things. If I do the same thing all the time, I'll get bored and then you won't get any videos essentially, because I won't be playing Planet Zoo. So yeah, this is me custom building a building essentially. Funnily enough, like, the Arctic pieces are some of the only wooden pieces in the game that animals can't climb. And again, if Frontier are listening, not that they're ever going to listen to me in my small little channel over here, could you please, like, add some more pieces to the game that are not climbable, that are made out of wood? Because not all climbable pieces, like, have to be made out of wood, you know? Not all wooden pieces have to be climbable. So can we please have some more wooden pieces, like the Arctic pieces, that are not climbable? Because I would really appreciate that. It just makes building habitats, and habitats that work, a lot easier. And, you know, I like these Arctic pieces, but I don't want every wooden building I have to be the same boring colour of wood. It would be nice if we could just have a bit more variety. So if you're running out of ideas to create new pieces, Frontier, which you seem to be, seeing as we haven't had any new pieces yet, and I'm kind of concerned that we won't get any new pieces. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really hope I am wrong, and this is just, you know, unwanted criticism, but I am a little bit concerned that we might not get any more build pieces, and that the next 4 DLC could just be animal packs. Which, while I like the animals, I have advocated for more animals, I still would like to have build pieces in the game too, just because it adds more inspiration. You know, it gives me ideas, it gives other people ideas as well. I'm not the only one who I know who has this issue. So yeah, more build pieces would be nice, and, you know, on the list of ideas that I think I've been mentioning, along with opaque glass pieces that are round, and just more interesting round pieces would be nice. Of, like, glass pieces would be really, really nice. I would like more wooden pieces that are climbable, or not climbable, sorry, and are a different colour to the Arctic pieces. Just because it's going to get boring quick, essentially. Like, I like to actually play the game where I can, rather than just building stuff to look pretty. I like to actually, you know, play the game, and I enjoy making franchise zoos that work, that function, but that are also beautiful. That's, you know, kind of my thing, really. I don't play just to build, I play to play a tycoon game at the same time. Like, it's that kind of perfect mix. So yeah, if Frontier could do that, I would really, really appreciate that. So yeah, these are sort of like some just triangle glass viewing areas that I wanted to make. Again, I'm getting into this whole custom building thing more, I think, just because I'm running out of ideas with, like, the build pieces, and I do like a good bit of wooden, like, buildings. I like the chunky wooden buildings, I like log cabins. I'm really into it at the moment. It's just really, I don't know, I've just discovered it, and I guess that's all I'm building at the moment, is custom buildings. But yeah, it would be nice to have more different wooden pieces. And essentially with these triangle windows, this is the snow leopard's indoor viewing area. So I decided that they would have, like, you know, this habitat that they can come and, like, work their way up to, and the guests can sit here and view them from this point. I wanted to create, like, a little bit of a covered area, but nothing too, like, in the way and, like, obvious. So I kind of made this funky little shape. I don't really know what I was doing with it. It just worked, and I really like how it worked. And yeah, so I'm pleased with how it's turned out, really. And I just continue it all along in this, and then copy and paste it to the other side, just to you know, bring it all together a little bit. My buildings, when I'm building custom buildings, are not perfect. They are a bit wonky sometimes. I think that's just because I struggle a little bit trying to sort it all out and get it neat and tidy. But yeah, no, I was really pleased with how this one turned out in the end, just because I really liked seeing the snow leopards climbing up to get into it. Like, I like to make it so they have to climb up to get into the habitats, as opposed to just, you know, like, kind of, they just walk in, if you get what I mean, like, particularly into the sheltered areas. But yeah, so snow leopards are actually one of my favourite animals on the planet. I think they're really, really cool. I am a big fan of the big cats generally. And so I always really do enjoy building the snow leopard habitats in this game because, you know, they're such a small cat as well. Like, after my exams at university, we went to Dudley Zoo and fed the snow leopards there. Just because basically we wanted to kind of celebrate the end of our exams, and I really do like going to zoos, and I'm a mad animal person really. So we had fun feeding the snow leopards, and yeah, it was just really, really interesting, and it was really cool to see these guys up close. They have such big like claws and teeth. And again, you think, oh, they're small, they can't be that deadly. But then when you get up close and you see how big their claws are, it's just like, wow. So yeah, and you know, the keepers were really knowledgeable about them as well. Apparently snow leopards are generally no longer endangered. They've been moved from endangered to vulnerable in like I think it's the CITES specification. I mean, this might be a bit outdated now. I don't know if they've become endangered again, but they've essentially become they're no longer considered endangered and can't really be bred. Like there isn't the justification to be breeding them in zoos anymore, which is really, really good news. Although saying that, it doesn't mean that, you know, they're out of the woods yet. Someone I actually went on I guess it was sort of a field trip for my dissertation to Mexico with. He just happened to be on the same one doing a lot of film work. His name's Dan O'Neill, and he has gone on, I think, to work with BBC Earth. And if you've not checked it out, he's done a fantastic documentary on snow leopards in Kyrgyzstan, I think it is. And again, it just talks over some of, like, you know, the conflicts, the issues facing snow leopards. I think it's called Snow Leopard's Ghost in the Snow. I might put a link down below because if you've not seen it, it's definitely worth a watch. It's really, really interesting. And like, again, like, Dan is a fantastic wildlife and filmmaker, to be honest. I wish, like, I was that good. I wish, you know, I could, like, be able to go and do all that. But at the same time, I also know I'd be completely out of my comfort zone going anywhere like that. So, yeah. I will put that in because I think it's just a fun little documentary that he's done. It's like 4 parts, and it's stunning footage of the snow leopards. And there's a really sad story about one of the snow leopards that was just, like, found injured, and this lady's taken him in and he's being looked after. I won't say too much more than that because I don't want to spoil it if you do decide to watch it, because it is really, really interesting. But Kyrgyzstan has done a lot actually to promote snow leopard conservation, which is amazing to see. And essentially, like, you know, snow leopards are one of those that are taken for, like, the exotic pet trade quite a lot as well. And particularly in places like Kyrgyzstan, you would end up with farmers and local people wandering through the mountains and just stumbling on snow leopard cubs that have been abandoned. And then people either panic thinking, oh, they've been abandoned, and take them in, and then they end up in the exotic pet trade, or they're poached specifically for the exotic pet trade, or they're killed because farmers don't want snow leopards hunting their livestock and stuff like that. So generally, though, it has been good news for the snow leopard, so it's been fantastic to kind of you know, see that and hear that. One of my favourite animals is actually the Amur leopard, which I really hope we get in the game at some point. And I just hope that the Amur leopard has such a strong recovery as the snow leopard has, because I think, you know, when I first adopted an Amur leopard years and years ago, there were only 35 in the wild, and I think the number has doubled now to 70. And they're just like this really cute, small, fluffy leopard. They're like the African leopard, but they're like extra fluffy, and they're just adorable. I've seen one before, I think in Prague Zoo when we went, and that was really, really cool to see my favorite animal, like, in person, because I don't really know anywhere that has them elsewhere, really. But yeah. So anyway, back to this habitat. I've sort of gone off topic there a little bit. So I'm putting in all the enrichment items now and the trees. I haven't added snow to this habitat because it doesn't really fit with the theming of this area of the zoo. Now, I know the snow leopards do like to have the snow. I've set them in a nice cold area, and they've got this cold area in there, and I actually put a bit of snow underneath the house, so you can't see it, but there is snow under there, so it kind of counts as in the habitat. And, you know, if you want to keep with the aesthetic but keep your animals happy and franchise, that's one thing you can do is you can build a building and then put some of that terrain or that they really like under like the building and hide it away from them. So yeah, this is just me finishing off this bit of the building as well now, just doing a little bit of planting and plant work, just trying to pull it all together and finish it off, and you know, just making sure that, you know, it's sort of as complete as it can be. And again, just finishing off this kind of planted area here and just making sure that it looks like a finished habitat, I guess. I do like these like green awnings. Like, I hope one day to have like a green awning somewhere, maybe in my garden when we get a house, but that day is probably a little bit far off, but hopefully not too far off. Anyway, I think this is pretty much it now, because I'm just popping all, yeah, pretty much there. And I will leave you with the cinematics of the snow leopards. I do apologise that they are a little bit slow and janky. My computer is really struggling with Alphabet Zoo, as I've mentioned previously. If you want to see the first part of this video, please do go check that out, as this is the second part of the Cat Palace. Otherwise, enjoy the cinematics, take care guys, and I will see you in the next one.